What is up, boys? This is your boy Grant back with another video for you guys. And of course, as you can see, we've got the 535 behind us. The hood's popped, valve cover right here on the floor. So yes, we're putting in a little bit of work. So about a week ago on the way home on a Friday night, I got a permanent code that the valvetronics motor had stopped working, or it's basically disabled. So we're tearing into this bad boy to get that valvetronics motor replaced. So I had to go out on FCP Euro, went ahead and purchased the part. It did come with a kit for injector seals and decouplers and new gaskets. So I got a new valve cover gasket. Even though this one's only about a year old, we're putting a new valve cover gasket, all that sort of thing on it. So I'm going to show you guys where we're at. We'll dig in real quick, and hopefully this will be helpful for somebody else. Okay, so again, didn't want to bore you guys with too much details as far as just removing, injectors and ignition coils and that sort of thing. So we've got the valve cover off, we've got the injectors out. What we're looking at now is we are replacing our valvetronics motor. So what we're going to have to do, first of all, we actually going to have to remove this actually bolt here. And this is our oil squirter for the valvetronics. And then as you'll look in here to each one of these, I don't know what this box is called, but it actually is where your injectors are typically sitting. There's 3 bolts that have to be removed. I think they are a T30, but I'll double check that. So we've got to remove both of these on both sides to be able to get access to the bolts there to be able to start removing that out. Kind of looking over here, I'm just kind of looking at the eccentric shaft. It does look to be good and everything. So a lot of times what'll happen is Ista, when I started running, tried to do diagnostics on it, it told me replace the valvetronics motor. It also told you to replace the eccentric shaft and the oil squirter. I've seen a lot of these guys doing this online. It's, from what I understand, it is not necessary unless you have some damage to this eccentric shaft. It should not be necessary for you to have to replace that. And which you would be able to see, because I guess you'd probably have some of your, you see worn or broken teeth here on the eccentric shaft. But that is I believe that shaft runs roughly $1,000. So let's just, I don't want to, you guys know me, I'm not just throwing money at the car. But I'm going to start digging into this now. We'll see what we can get done. So we're a little tight on space, but I'm going to try to see if I can make this work. I did double check. That is a T30 here for these 3 bolts. So we're going to make sure we get in here. We're going to use our magnet as well, because we definitely do not want to lose any bolts in here. So let's see if we can get on this bolt, and we're going to see about breaking it loose. Okay. Now, of course, yes, I've got an impact, and I could hit this with an impact, but again, just really trying to be very careful here. I don't want to lose this bolt down in my engine, so that's what we're doing here. So I'll be back with you guys here in just a minute once I get all 6 of these out and both of these these compartments removed. So of course we've got these sections out. Now we're going to need to remove this little bolt here, and I don't actually know what size inverted torque wrench or inverted torque socket to use on that. I don't have, mine actually doesn't go down far enough for that, so I'm having to use just a small 1/4 standard socket. I was able to break it loose, so that's actually going to work. It's not actually stripping that. So we're just going to go ahead and get this off, and this will release our oil spitter here. So just again, being very careful. Don't want to lose anything down in our engine bay or down in our engine. Okay, so there we go. There's that bolt removed, and then we're gonna see if we can help this. Try to lift up a little bit, and basically what we're trying to do is get this piece here to release. Okay, so you just kind of lift up, and we can pull that out now. Okay, so there, that is removed. Like I said, probably just clean that up a little bit, and then we'll reuse it. So now with that removed, we're on to working on our sprocket here. So as you can see, there's a worm gear, as well as you've got a kind of a sprocket here that actually rotates on this one worm gear. I had to run down and grab another set of long Allen wrenches. This is the 4.0 metric is what actually is going to fit in here in this hole to be able to rotate this. you're going to need a 13 millimeter. This here is you're going to put on the end of this eccentric shaft, and that's going to allow you to, as you're rotating this, you want to use your wrench as well too to hold it in position, because there's going to be a lot of tension on this as we're rotating it. We're initially going to rotate this clockwise. In doing so, we're actually rotating our worm gear around, and what we're trying to do is get to where we can actually remove our stopper on this side over here, and that's actually in an 11 millimeter. Okay, we're going to grab this off the tripod so I can try to see if I can give you guys a good idea of what we're actually going for here. Let me grab my other light real quick. Okay, so what we're looking at here, and I'm sorry, this bar is actually loose on one side, so I just kind of have it out of the way. What we're trying to do here is, if you look down here, you can see that there is a minimum. Right now, my eccentric shaft is in the maximum position, but there's an actual stopper, which is right here. This is the stopper for the minimum position, and if you actually look through, can't see if you can get in there or not or see that, there's actually one on the other side for the maximum position, okay? What we're going to do is we're going to look at our worm gear here, which again is in the maximum position. We're going to rotate this and release it on the other side. So to do that, I'm gonna go ahead and remove my minimum stopper now here in this position, and then we're gonna start rotating this worm gear so that we can get to that position there. Hopefully that makes sense. Okay, so again, I'm already in the maximum position. And what I've done here is I've used my 11 millimeter just to break this loose. And this is my stopper for the minimum position. I'm gonna put a little extra support on here just in case, but I should be able to loosen this up and remove this minimum stopper. And it's actually loosening and coming up. And then once I have it out of the way, then we're going to rotate the shaft back this opposite direction toward where this stopper was. Okay, so yes. So we've got that removed right now. Again, there was nothing under tension or anything like that. I was just holding that just really for my sake. And now we're going to start rotating this. We're rotating it, as you can see, counterclockwise at this point. And we're doing this again, I have to just change positions here a little bit on my wrench. Hopefully you guys can see what we're doing, but I'm just rotating this shaft, this gear slowly around. Again, this is under a good amount of tension here. So I'm doing it slowly because you definitely don't want something to just let loose and slap something else or anything like that. So we're just gonna slowly with our hands, let this rotate. We're rotating it around. It's really doing a lot of the work for you. You're just basically making sure that you've got control, that it's a kind of a controlled release, in other words, if that makes sense. And we're just rotating it carefully. As you can see, we're starting to see the top, or basically this gear, because it's kind of like a half moon. So we're seeing the flat spot coming around. And we're just going to keep working this through. So now we're getting to the point here where we're actually going to have to help this along with our wrench. So before we were really just kind of controlling how that tension was being removed. Now we're actually going to pull a little bit with our wrench to get this to come down where we want it to be. Okay, and at this point, we are now released from the actual gear itself. So at the very bottom here, so the next thing what we're going to do is we're actually going to turn this just a little bit more, see if we can get to release. So So what we're gonna do is we're gonna turn this 90 degrees, and we're gonna try to put our stopper back in place so that it holds itself in place. And we're there. So we're putting our stopper in. Okay. And we're just doing that by hand. Okay, we're in there good. Now we can get off our wrench, and we can take out our Allen key. So now we can go ahead and remove the motor. The bolts here. Before I get too far, I'm gonna grab my magnet, because again, we don't wanna lose it. Okay. So we've got all 3 of our bolts removed, and we should be able to, there we go, just slide this out of position now. And it's coming. We might have to rotate it slightly. There we go. We're gonna rotate it slightly to pull it out. There we go. And that is our dead Valvetronics motor. Okay, so the workbench is full at the moment. Of course, this is our old motor here. Our new one we again got from FCP Euro. VDO is looks like the brand that they had listed on there. I honestly didn't research that to see, you know, of course, which one was the OEM, but this is what was again on FCP Euro. So we're gonna open it up here. Very, very nicely packaged. And there we go. So this is our new unit. And so we're just gonna go ahead and get this reinstalled. As you can see, you've got your connection on the top and all that good stuff. Everything looks identical. We're just gonna go ahead and put this into place and basically do the reverse order of what we just did. Okay. So we've got our new motor back in place. Everything's been tightened down as far as the 3 bolts around that motor's been tightened down. Now we're just going to get back on our eccentric shaft. We're going to release our stopper and then start getting this rotated back into place. So let's do that real quickly. Again, just make sure you're taking your time. Last thing you want to do is mishandle something, like drop the stopper down into your engine or something like that, and it just ends for, you know, just don't want to have a bad day, in other words. So there we go. So that got that out. Set that over here to the side. Okay. Now we're going to start trying to rotate this back into place. All right. Again, now we're rotating it clockwise, trying to make it back around to our beginning position is what I'm looking for right now. So we're gonna have to rotate our wrench here. Okay, boys, so we've got it rotated all the way back over. That is in the maximum lift position. It's resting now. We can actually remove our Allen key. And we should be good to go ahead and start putting everything back together. Almost forgot to tell you guys, don't forget we do actually have to go ahead and replace the oil squirter on that too. So let me go ahead and, I'm gonna run some compressed air through mine just to make sure it's all cleaned out. I won't bore you guys with that, but again, it's just gonna slide right back into position where it came out, and then you're gonna put that bolt in and tighten it back down. So no big deal there. Okay, boys, so the last step of this procedure is we go ahead and hook our car up to Ista, and we're running through activation of Valvetronics now that we have the new Valvetronics motor installed. So it actually runs the car through 200 cycles. We're on 138 right now. It's actually looking for like the limits, lift timing, all sorts of stuff with the Valvetronics. So that's what's actually going on now. I'll kind of give you guys a quick sneak peek here. I don't know if you'll be able to hear the engine running and kind of stumbling a little bit, just kind of going through, finding the timing and whatnot on the Valvetronic. So working on that now. Okay, there we go. Activation cycles have been successful. We went through all 200 cycles. The next thing that I'm going to do, and this is, I'm not sure if this is necessary or not, but we're going to close this function, which shuts off the car. I'm actually going to go back in here and I'm going to reset all adaptations as well too. Okay, so now my Valvetronics is completely set up. It's ran through all the learn positions and everything. The next thing I'm going to do real quick is just reset adaptations. The easiest way for me to find that is I just go into the text search. So text search is actually under repair maintenance, under vehicle information there. So we're just gonna click on that and see if we can't get into adaptations real quick, reset that. And then it'll, again, gonna just kind of do some relearning of the different settings in the car. And we should be good to go with the Valvetronics position or Valvetronics swap. So there we go, delete adaptations. So I'm just gonna, again, this is just deleting all vehicle adaptations real quick. Won't bother you guys with, I don't know if, we'll see here. Oh, there it is, reset. Okay, values, okay. Actually, it's this top one, reset all adaptations, values except those of the increment wheel. This does not allow me to reset the increment wheel. I'm not 100% what that's actually for. But I guess I would actually have to update my software to be able to do that, or replace the DME as the error that I've received in the past. So I don't typically worry about that, but I'm just going to go ahead and reset these adaptations, and I'll be back with you guys shortly. Okay, boys, that's it. So right now, adaptations have been reset. We've ran in the servo motor, all the limit functions and everything. So that's actually in the process. That's already done. After you reset adaptations, you're supposed to bring the car to idle, let it idle for like 2 minutes. So that's what I'm doing now. But this is basically another repair done, another DIY. If this is your first time to the channel, make sure you like and subscribe. If this helps you out, drop me a like, drop me a comment, let me know. But we will see you guys in the next video, guys. Be safe.